welcome to the chat. We have a after hours special here with a few extra ladies, and we're going to be talking about body image. They say that body image is a woman's problem or a girl's problem, but it seems like guys are having similar issues. What do you all think?
Who wants to start?
Obviously, that's why they go to the gym all the time, and there is a huge competition with the guys, how much weights they're lifting, and they weigh every day. The first thing in my gym, they come up the stairs and they weigh themselves. And I'm like, wow, this is not just a girl's problem anymore.
There's a lot of pressure for men to be cut too, like to have the six pack abs and all of that stuff as well. So I think that they're going through, something different, but something similar to us.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I think the two main things for men will be weight, but also hair. I think a lot of men are losing their hair, and it's very difficult, and that can actually be, a lot of men are very self-conscious about that. Mm-hmm.
And they can also be too hairy. That's the other problem. They could have back hair or, problems with being too bear-like. And that's also something that can be a problem for men.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother earlier today, and as he gets older, his struggle is that he was a bodybuilder, and he now goes to the gym and he's looking at younger men who are pushing the same kind of weight he used to and look a certain way. And for him, his body image is really, really suffering as he gets older and has to deal with the shifts and changes and not being able to do the same things. And I think that's very similar to how women feel as we get older.
Absolutely. We get called the mom bod. Well, now there's the dad bod. And
but a lot of people think the dad bod is sexy though. They want a lot of women want the dad bod.
Well, I think they're just too self-conscious that they've put on extra weight. But I agree with you. Some of them just look amazing. It's like, wow. I don't know. It's like, I think we just have to all be comfortable with our own body. And as we age, our body does change. We can't be like that skin and bones or ripped as we were when we were younger. We just don't have, I don't know. I'd rather just be myself than worry about the body image. But I'm sure men deal with it a lot as well.
I've met a lot of men who are confident. And I've met a lot of men who are confident in their body image, even if they're got a big pot belly, they don't really care. They're going to show it and they're going to be proud of it. And I thought, wow, as women, I don't know many women.
Okay, Santa, sure.
Hey, Santa's hot.
Do you think that social media has a big impact on that also?
Well, the thing is, I heard actually a statistic recently that young boys and young men are taking way more selfies actually than girls are. So social media, it's interesting to see how that's playing out there too. That it's a stat I hadn't expected.
Let's fly over to Becca. What do you have to say, Becca?
Well, I have two little boys. They're 4 and 7. And we just recently put together like a big gym rack thing in our garage. And they've been in there trying to like work out and tell me about like their muscles and everything. And they're big into like the superheroes. So like the Avengers, all the superheroes. And they're always saying, it's like, oh, I'm still really skinny. And I'm like, you are 7 years old. Oh, wow. So, I think like with all these superhero movies and everything, they really play into that ripped, cut body. And they think that that's totally normal, where like I keep telling them, that's only like a small percentage of people. So, everyone has a different body, and just be healthy. And that would be, what we aim for, and not the 6-pack or the 8-pack.
I totally agree with Becca. I think social media, papers, magazines or whatever, everyone's trying to tell women or men what sort of body shape they should have. Why don't people just be healthy? Whatever works for your body type, right? And not be so concerned about being a toothpick. Let's face it. When a woman is 50, she doesn't look good when she's like super skinny.
That's true.
And Asunta, on the tail of that for Asunta, the question says, is body image a girl's problem, and do guys have that problem? I happen to think it's a societal problem. It's not gender-based. And I believe that unfortunately, as a body positivity and diversity spokesperson and the only fat girl on this call, I'll have to say that I, up until the 48th year, which is this year, have been apologetic about my body. I've been apologetic about my size. And at this point in time, something happened this year where I just went, you know what? You're okay exactly the way you are. And to follow up on what Assunta says, be healthy. So health and size. That idea that I climbed on a bike after not being on a bike for 30 years because I was embarrassed to be big and on a bike. And now I'm a badass bitch on a bike. And I ride about the
Oh my God, I'm cheering to the badass bitch, man.
Thank you. We need to talk about the diversity that is the reality of the bodies that are on the planet. There are so many bodies, and we have one very narrow-minded thought around what body image looks like, and unless we fit into that section, that we're no good. And I have been apologetic my whole life, and I apologize no more. So thank you to Becca for teaching your boys that it's a small percentage and to be healthy and in love with where you're at.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
Tanya, I am completely with you, and also Assunta and Becca. I think that is part of society and also generational. Before woman was pretty, they were sort of like,
exactly.
You know, now it's different. And also for men, they were more refined, and now they are more like superheroes. So for me, and everything that I promote, even in my family with my own boys, is be happy and be healthy.
Yeah.
Because that will create a really positive way and body imagine whatever you are leading with. And I really congratulate you, Tanya, for who you are and express and be out there with bicycles. So good for you.
Exactly.
How about you, Julie? What's up with you? What do you think?
Well, actually, I have an interesting viewpoint because I worked in addiction recovery for years. So I was privy to the inside thoughts of gentlemen. And there were so many, and they were always the hot ones. It was never anybody that was overweight. It was never anybody that, would technically be not within the perfect image. Those gentlemen had eating disorders and the worst body images ever. And it was so shocking to discover. And it wasn't people with problems. It was really good looking, normal, even ripped dudes that had these issues. I was blown away, absolutely blown away by it.
Margot?
Sorry, I'm turning myself off mute. I'm very passionate about this subject, so I could go on and on. So time me.
We don't have that much time, Margot.
No, I know. So I'm a fitness coach as well, which I didn't mention, but and also working at the Health and Tech District, I see men and women, mainly men actually, who have had strokes, who've had traumatic brain injury, who have broken their back in car accidents. So Tanya, the key for every human is to just be as healthy as you possibly can, because you don't know what's coming up. And men, women, whoever, I'm saddened by people who want to be something, like they get depressed or they get down, like you were saying, Tanya. Nobody, like, it's just, you need to be healthy. That's it. Really, we're walking around with a suitcase and guts in it. Who cares? You just need to be healthy because you don't know what's coming up next.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yasmin, what about you?
I would have to say guys do worry about their physical appearance and their body image just to impress the girls. Like when I go to the bar, before the whole COVID stuff started happening, I've noticed guys are coming in ripped, muscle shirts, tight t-shirts, just to impress the women there. And I find that they overdo it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they want to show it off. They're like, oh, I'm Mr. Muscle. I can get any girl I want. Which is totally not true. The only way to get the girl is personality and conversation, not just by appearance, which is what I've noticed quite a bit in my years going out.
Q moves. What about you?
Yeah, I also think we really need to think about the kids as well, like the teens. Now they're growing up. We have to instill that confidence in them so they're comfortable in their skin, in their body, right? So when they grow older, they're not easily moved by peer pressure, because I think that has a lot to do with it as well. That's my opinion.
Kim, have you spoken yet?
No, just waiting my turn.
Yeah.
I agree that it's a societal issue at this point. I do think that, you know, for the past 10 to 20 years, it was a very female centered issue. But these days, yes, it's become more of an issue for the men. They are very aware of their body image. But I think that one of the problems right now, or you know, as this is changing, is that for women, having a problem with body issues and that it's understood and it's accepted in women. And I think in men, they still somewhat feel they're not allowed to recognize that they might have a problem, or that being too self-conscious about it is a problem. And so some of them are just not speaking forward. Some of them are not recognizing it in themselves. And so you're getting a little bit of a confusion in them. And I think they don't know how to react to it because they don't really recognize it, because they think it's a women's problem. They don't understand that it's everyone.
That's true. That's true. Val, did you speak yet?
No, I want to go back on the eating disorders. Personally, I went through that in my teens, adulthood, even as back as 10 years, and sometimes more recent. And I do work out, and I'm very conscious of what I eat, when I eat. So body image is a huge thing for me. But recently I did notice that when I go to the gym and I see those young teens or young adults working out, and I'm like, oh my God, like, where were those outfits when I was like young? And you know, and like, why can I look like that? And then I'm like, you know what, lady, like, you've gone through life, you've had kids, you've got so much more behind you than, you know, and I should stop comparing. But what concerns me is I have a 22-year-old son, and it's really interesting to listen to you ladies talk about, you know, your boys and how men are, you know, obviously affected by this. And he's very much obviously learning from me too, or picking up on some bad traits, because he's all about body image. He's all about looking good, having the six-pack. But yeah, I need to learn some good mama skills to teach him better ways.
Awesome. I think it's your turn, Kathy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we heard it all here. I don't really need to say too much about this, whether your child is 7 like Becca's or in their 20s. And, you know, we heard about being healthy and happy from many different ladies. That's really where we're at. You know, I think that as parents, for those of you that are parents here, we need to be passing these on to our own children. My son works out 7 days a week. He doesn't have an eating disorder, but I have a husband who's super thin, can eat 3,000 calories a day. And he is concerned. He thinks he's too thin, you know, so it goes both ways. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Tanya, you said you think you're the heaviest person here. I think I'm heavy, you know, like I don't agree with you when you made that comment, because it reverted, like, I felt like, well, I feel I'm heavy. Like, you're not the only one, Tanya. So anyhow, all in all, amazing discussion, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Be healthy and happy, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow and share. Bye for now.
Bye.